homesteading to prepping to common horse sense, we are College Hill Farm. Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Well, today I would like to talk to you about a news article that I read. Now, this is not a political post. This is a rural communities post. I could care less what your politics are, and I keep politics off the channel. But this is totally not a political thing. I'll just read the article to you, and it's just a little short thing, but it has big implications for rural communities. So let me read it. It says, this is Louisville, Kentucky. This is WKYT News. Now, if you don't know, in Louisville, Kentucky, that's where Yum Brands is headquartered. Yum Brands, Taco Bell, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and Pizza Hut. So, Yum Brands, they're one of the largest food companies in the world. It says Louisville-based Yum Brands is planning to go fully digital at its fast food restaurants. This includes Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, and KFC locations. The company's chief financial officer said he wants 100% of its sales at some point to be driven digitally. Yeah. This is a step toward a cashless society. Okay? And I want to talk for a minute about what a cashless society means to rural communities. It's a death knell. So why do I say that that's a death knell to rural communities? Well, let's understand something. Let's say you've got $100. You get paid $100 in cash. And you go to the local dollar store and you spend that $100. Well, the local dollar store had to spend 25% of that $100 in order to buy the products that it brought to you. Okay? Or they took out 25%. However you want to look at it. $75 of that went into the owner's pockets or to the employees. Okay? So that $75 stayed right here in the community. And really the 25% they used to buy back materials, okay, that stays in the community too in reality because it just comes back as materials. So they've got this store. You've spent your money. Where did that money go? Well, it went to the owners of the store and it went to the people who work at the store. And generally the owners of dollar stores are local. Okay? They're not a long way off. They're local. Not always, but most of the time they're local. They have to pay their fees to the dollar store, to the Dollar General. But they're a local small business right in your community, just like the hardware store and the bank and the local bank and the little mom and pop food store. Okay? All of those are local. That $75 then, let's say you take that $75 and you go to the farmer's market. The people who've got the $75 went to the farmer's market and bought corn with it. Well, that went right into the pocket of the local farmer. Then he turned around to his neighbor and bought a plow with that $75. Okay? And then his neighbor turned around and went and paid a farm worker to harvest tobacco, that $75. Where did that money go? It all stayed right here in the local community. And it went round and round and round and round. Eventually, it's eaten up by commodities that come into the community, but in reality, communities need those commodities. So, it's still a benefit to the community. All right? Now switch to a cashless society. Okay? Now, in order to use that debit card, that card in your hand, I've got a debit card. Everybody I know has a debit card. There are a lot of people that don't have debit cards. All right? They don't have them. They're the poor But we'll get to that in a minute. Let's say you take that same $100 and spend it with your debit card. You get paid that same $100. Now, somewhere away from where the business is, you don't see it as a person. But that business has to pay between 1.5% and 3.5% of the money that you pay to a credit card company for processing that credit card. Between 1.5% and 3.5%. The smaller the business, the higher the percentage. So rural communities pay a lot more to process these debit cards. All right? So where does that money go? Well, it goes right out of the community. Boom. 3.5% taken off the top, right out of the community. Gone. Forever. Never to come back. For what? There's no tangible service. There's no tangible goods. It's just gone. All right? So cashless societies are made to take your money out of your rural communities and push it up to some wealthy, unknown corporation. Okay? Now, let's take a look at what that means. By the time you consider that the stuff we buy and the fees that businesses pay to be franchises and that kind of stuff, that $100 is gone completely in 25 years. Gone. Never to come back to the community. Absolutely gone. But we're just talking about $100 here. Let's get a little more succinct about what we're going to talk about. Okay? After 25 years, that $100 doesn't even exist anymore in the local community. So let's talk about that on a little larger scale, more than just that $100. We have a local grocery store, and they get our money. Crystal and I raise most of what we eat, but we probably spend $100 a month in just things. We don't bake our own bread. We don't grow our own wheat. We don't make those delicious lemon pies. Anyway, we ain't going there. We are not usual, but we spend probably about $100 a month at the grocery store. Okay? $100 a month. Now, my county is very small, about 15,000, 16,000 people. And it's not a really big county as far as area goes. We have one grocery store, and I'm not going to call it by name. And this is just fictitious thinking about the way people spend money and about the possible funds that are being expended. Okay? But it's a thought exercise that everybody ought to try. We spend $100 a month. Now, there are about 7,000 homes in my little county. So, of those 7,000 homes, let's say they all spend $100 a month at that local grocery store. Okay? Businesses survive by people spending money. Well, if you think about it, $700 a month, 7,000 homes, put the 2 zeros on the end, that's $700,000 a month funneling into that local grocery store. Well, they've got employees, they've got butchers, they've got people who go out and get the carts, they've got the cashiers, they've got the stockers, they've got all these folks that work there. They've got the managers, the assistant managers, all right, the team leads, whatever. I don't know how their structure is set up, but they're taking in about $700,000 a month, and they're paying it out, and all those people that work there are local. So it's going into their pocket, and they're spending it in the local community as well. All right? Now, $700,000 a month. But now, a credit card company somewhere off in the ether, you don't know where they're from, okay? They could be from New York, they could be from Switzerland, they could be from the Grand Caymans, whatever. They're siphoning off 3.5% to do those debit card transactions. credit or debit card transactions. Okay? 3.5%. Well, you just don't think about that. But 3.5% of $700,000 is $24,500 a month being siphoned out of the local community and just gone. That's somebody's salary. Okay? Gone. Never to come back. Never to come back. Now, let's carry that out a little bit farther. And we're only talking about one business. One. So, one little business, that's $294,000 a year siphoned out of our local community. How many local communities can stand that? How many highways? How many roads? How many garbage disposal systems can stand that? It's draining the life out of our local communities. It will drain us dry, like sucking your life out with a straw. There are other consequences of a cashless society. Okay? Other consequences. Let's think about that for a minute. Every transaction you do is monitored in a computer system in a cashless society. It's tied to your debit card or credit card. Every transaction. What's going to happen when your health insurance company decides to buy that data from your credit card company, to buy that data, and they sell it? I'm telling you, you get too many commercials on your Facebook feed, they sell it. They decide to buy that information, your health insurance company, and goes, oh, you're a diabetic, but you've been buying these pineapple pies. Oh, we're not going to pay for your insulin this month because you're not following what needs to be done. Can you imagine how they'll micromanage your life? Next, what about that 3.5%? Well, all little businesses that take credit cards have that figured in. Okay? They've got that amount figured in on their pricing. They price everything 3.5% higher, knowing that some people are going to come in and pay in cash, and they get to save that 3.5% for their profit margin, and that's how they're surviving. Okay? That's how they're surviving. It will make small businesses dry up on the bone and die. Little small businesses that are living on the margins right now dry up on the bone and die. Okay? What else? Identity theft will be easier. What happens in a flood? Let's say you have a flood and all the power lines are out. You can't use your debit card to buy nothing. You're going to rob people to get what you need? If you've got cash, you can pay them cash and get what you need. Okay, they'll whip out a little pocket calculator and calculate it up. You give them the cash and they'll give you your change. But in a cashless society, that can't happen. You're going to hold them up. You're going to rob them. Okay? We need to fight this cashless society crap all the way around. We need to fight it, fight it, fight it every way you can. Call your senators, call your congressmen, do everything you can to fight this cashless society. Boycott businesses that want to go cashless. Call them and say, look, we're not going to visit your business anymore because you've gone cashless. This has got to stop. This is bullshit that has to stop. We have to stop this cashless society thing, which is just a way of taking money from rural communities and shoving it up into some corporation somewhere. Okay? They're taking it out of your pocket, my pocket, everybody's pocket. You have to stand up and fight. Call your senators, call your congressmen, tell them to make laws that say that these businesses have to accept our national tender. It has got to be a thing that happens. All debts, public and private. It's legal tender. Make them accept it. We have to stand on this soapbox every day. Now, if you like this stuff, this homesteading, do-it-yourself kind of thing, be certain to come on out to the channel and subscribe. We're going to do this homesteading stuff every week, sometimes one, sometimes 5 videos. Just depends on what's going on in the homestead that week. Now, if you hit the little bell when you come to the channel, it'll notify you when we upload a video. We upload every Sunday. Now, it's time for me to get on the phone and call my senators and congressmen.